Welcome back to Wild Biz Weekly, Omaha's only business news magazine podcast. You're watching wildbiztv.com. Thanks for tuning into this website. It's completely unusual. This is online newscasting, and it's all about learning, not necessarily just sharing information. But we've been talking a little bit about entrepreneurialism, the next generation, and how Omaha has revitalized itself with a lot of new ideas, new thinking, a lot of technology, and a lot of very interesting young players. And so we're here to talk today to a couple folks that have gotten themselves established. They're in the software development business. They do mobile applications. They work downtown. They're part of that elite group. So I want you to please welcome Mr. Don Stavneak and Rod Smith. Thank you so much, guys, for joining us. You bet. Now, this is very interesting. These guys run an operation called Volano Solutions. Very cool offices, and they do a lot of very interesting and experimental things. But what they need is talent. Isn't that right, Rod? Tell me a little bit about your staffing challenge for a minute.
So when we started Volano Solutions, we never dreamed that going and finding the right talent to help us build software solutions would be the challenge. You know, everybody thinks customer acquisition. That's the key piece to the puzzle.
Right.
For us, no.
Just getting the right people.
Getting the right people and trying to find the right folks to come in, because for us a cultural fit is where it's at. So not only do you need the technical skills, but you also need to fit into our culture. So finding those folks, getting them into our office to see if they're the right person has been a huge challenge for us.
Don, tell me, what's the process when you stumble across somebody who has a resume that looks maybe reasonable? How do you run them through the opera? How do you arrive at he's a go, or we should talk him, or dump him?
Being technologists ourselves, that's pretty easy to know if they have the aptitude. We've always said aptitude and attitude is really what we're looking for. So we really don't even look at a resume necessarily. We love a cover letter, and we get to know who you are and are you going to be able to fit in with a sense of humor and stuff out of your cover letter, see some of their personality.
Now, I have to interject right here because we have an audience dominated by young folks from the College of Business Administration at Creighton. They, I'm sure, think a lot and are spoken to a lot about resumes and developing your resume. You don't even pay that much attention to a resume. You're looking for a cleverly crafted pitch letter or introduction letter.
Yeah, show us something about yourself. We want to know
very
who you
interesting.
are.
All right, keep going. So it appeals to you. You bring them into the operation, then what?
And then we have them spend a half a day with us, so we can kind of show them what our environment is like. And then we get to see how they can interact with the rest of the players on the team. Because fitting into the culture really is a big part.
All right, very interesting. So is it kind of like a frat thing where everybody has to kind of vote on whether or not this person is going to fit in, and if they don't get enough votes, we move on to the next person?
No, and it's a friendly dictatorship.
All right. I see. So in the end, you guys are the guys that are making that decision.
We do. But, as we do bring them in and they get to spend some time with the team, you can see the personalities interact. And I guess it's a gut sense as to whether or not it's going to be a fit.
Well, we had Susan Thomas on here a little bit earlier, and she talked about the importance of creativity and intuition.
Absolutely.
It's very interesting to hear you talk about the importance of gut. Anyway, so what I heard about through the social media channels is that you're offering a straight-out, hefty, generous financial incentive to get the right person in the door. Tell me about that, Don.
So finding the right people has been tough for us. So we've really had to become creative about how we're doing that, whether that's the job crawl that was offered here at the Mastercraft a couple weeks ago. We were part of that, and that was great to find some young
Did it uncover a few things? Yeah?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Definitely. It's good to talk to the students and know as they're graduating and coming down the pipeline looking for jobs that we will be maybe on their mind. But for the immediate need, we have a $5,000 referral fee that we're just offering out there because it seems like Omaha is...
Wait a minute. Oh, $5,000?
$5,000.
All right. Yep. Well, that's a... let's shut the show down for a moment. I might know somebody in a Rolodex. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Omaha seems to be... full of recruiters. And so we end up needing to use recruiters to find people a lot. And what recruiters demand as a fee is a lot more than that $5,000. And we would much rather give somebody that we know or as a referral or as part of our network $5,000 than a larger, maybe even national-wide corporation to find us headhunt.
Yeah. That's very interesting. That's an enlightened idea, actually, and is a cost-saving idea as well. Is that right?
Yeah, so it not only would it save a substantial amount of money if I could pay you a referral bonus to help me find the right person. I get to put money in your pocket, not a national corporation.
Sure.
So it sounds like a win-win.
Yeah, it really does.
Do you know how many people have replied to our Refer a Developer form?
How many?
None.
Is that
We've not had one
right?
response.
Is that right? Now, that means either your social media communication, the thread that you're putting out there isn't effective, or people don't know software developers, maybe. And
it is a tight market.
Huh?
Software developers,
they have jobs
tight.
already.
They're...
As we wrap this up, let me ask you this question. I don't mean to get into anything too touchy, but what does a software developer make in general, especially as they're beginners or intermediate or whatever? I mean, what's the range? We got students out here that are thinking about this kind of stuff all the time. Can you give me a broad range, please?
Sure. So out of college, you're looking at 30, 35, 40.
Okay.
You can progress pretty quickly if you've got attitude and aptitude like Don spoke to. You can make it to the mid-60s.
Okay.
In a few years.
All right.
If you really devote yourself and you love software development, and that's a key. It really is. As you progress into your senior roles as a developer, 85, 90 is not unheard of. And then if it's from there, if you can manage a team, it goes up from there.
I see. And I know that you develop applications, all right? This is, we've had a number of conversations that are strategic and exploratory in nature, Don. And we look at emerging situations, right? And then we say, gee, is there some way that an application could be created that would solve that problem, right? Or bridge the gap or whatever. So I imagine a system developer who could think along those lines kind of strategically rather than just from a technical perspective. Would that be a good thing?
Yeah, so one of the reasons why it's so tough for us to find people is that we were looking for people that are creative and strategic and have a big picture point of view and can talk in front of people and work at a whiteboard in front of a room full of clients and CEOs.
There you go.
And also have a sense of humor so that our culture in our office is still kept up.
Kept light.
So it's a lot of things that we're asking for, and we have high expectations around myself of productivity and the level of people that we bring on board.
Fabulous. Well, Rod and Don, thank you for joining me on Wild Biz Weekly. We're going to do our best to get the word out there, see if we can't help you attract some high-quality talent. Obviously, Creighton's not a bad place to be messaging and connecting with people. They might know some people down the road that can be of some service to you. So we're going to check back with Volano Solutions in a few months and see how things are unfolding. Meanwhile, thanks for joining me on Wild Biz Weekly. Ladies and gentlemen, say thanks. That's it. My pleasure to have you guys. All right, thank you so much for joining me today. This is our first version of Wild Biz Weekly in the 2012 season. We think it's been outstanding. Again, we want to give some credit to the students, Stephen Michael Kelly, Sharice Williams, the whole team working with Dean Tony Hendrickson. It's been a great show. We got another show coming right up. We'll see you soon. Thanks for watching us on wildbiztv.com. I'm Lynn Hinderaker. We'll see you soon.